Welcome back to the Playdate. I am your host, Susan Petersen.
And I'm your host, Kaitlin Hansen.
Hi, Kit.
Hey,
How are you?
I am doing really good.
Okay, tell me what's been going on in your life.
Yeah, so it's spring break right now for my 4-year-old. So she doesn't have preschool or the literacy center that she goes to. And so we just have been trying to pack it full of fun things. I am making her do like a spring cleaning day, so that's not going to be that fun. But today we went to my sister's house in Syracuse and ate a delicious salad out on a blanket and just like basked in the sun. My kids spent all day outside. I made bracelets.
Oh, yeah, your new hyperfixation.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just like trying all the new craft DIY things until I find like my thing.
You guys drove to Syracuse. On the way home, did your kids fall asleep in the car?
Yeah, both of them.
What is that feeling? My friend and I do this river rat week every year. It's my best friend from high school. We get together with our kids. Our kids line up the same age. We've been doing it for years. And there's like this sense of pride because our kids will spend all day in the water and then they'll fall asleep. And what is it about having your children outside all day that just makes you feel like a good parent?
Oh, I'm like, you had no screen time.
Yeah.
You were active. You got sunshine, vitamin D, all the good things. I mean, they also like ate their weight in like Otter Pops and
who cares?
Candy.
None of that matters.
No. Yeah. It was so nice though, because they both fell asleep. Nobody like needed me to change a song or turn on Wheels on the Bus. And I was able to turn on my new book that I just started. And
what book are you reading?
So it's the new Kristen Hanna book that's called The Women. I'm in a book club.
Right. I knew that.
Yes.
Mostly for the parties.
Oh, 100%.
Like people join book clubs for books and you're like, can I host every month?
Yeah. I love a good hosting.
You love it.
It's the same reason I'm in like a cookbook club also.
Bunko.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah, all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is just something so satisfying though. You look in the mirror, both your kids are asleep and you're like, I really kicked ass today.
Oh, I was so good. I'm like, I didn't have to yell at my kids either. I mean, I try not to yell. It happens. But I didn't have to like get mad at anybody. They didn't break anything.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. They just like burned off their little energy. Both of them, when I looked back in the rearview mirror, mouths gaping open, heads bebopping.
Yeah. And do you remember when you were little, that nap?
Oh, incredible.
And then you'd pretend to be asleep when you got home. So your mom would have to carry you up.
Yes. Well, have you seen that trend where people are like pranking their kids and they're like, oh, if she's really asleep, like her hand will, like you raise their hand and they're like, your hand will stay up if they're really asleep.
Oh, cute.
And then kids are just like pretending with like their arms up.
Like their eyes are fluttering.
Yes.
Kids are so cute.
They're so funny.
We have spring break this week too. Hattie has taken her first solo road trip.
To Washington.
She drove 12 hours on Monday.
That's wild.
All by herself. Of course, I tracked her.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not?
I know. I was just like, only stop at Mavericks. If you feel something's off, it's off.
Yeah.
Follow your gut.
She's just by herself.
Just by herself. So she drove up to see my sister and then she drove to my friend's house.
Independent queen.
I know. Here's the thing. Since I feel like Liv is a lot like this.
Yeah.
Since Hattie was about 4, she hasn't needed me.
Yeah. I mean, that's Liv. Yeah.
She needed
100%.
me to pay bills and drive her places.
Yeah. Liv needs my credit card.
Yeah. No, she's lived on her own. It's just unfortunate that we lived in the house with her.
Yeah.
She used to do this thing when we'd go on trips and she would walk like 10 to 20 feet ahead of us and pretend she didn't know who we were. Like if we're in the airport.
Oh my
With her like her willy bag and just walking and like
so
looking
funny.
around and like, I don't know, when you're like 8, what if they think I'm traveling by myself?
Just all these like narratives.
Yes.
And nobody thinks that.
No one, they're probably like, oh,
yeah,
they're probably with her. Yeah.
That's so funny.
So she's always been independent, but it's really fun to like watch her kind of stretch her wings and, you know,
fly,
dip out. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Okay, so how long is she there? And then you're going to meet her, right?
No, she drives back on
Oh,
Friday.
she drives back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Cute.
She's going to college in the fall.
Yeah.
And so you got to kind of transition into that. She's got to still live with us and have freedom. And yeah.
Yeah. I'm so impressed because I have never driven that far. I haven't even driven to like St. George by myself.
Yeah. Well, it's because you do everything else in your life. And as soon as Eric's near a car, you're not driving.
No,
No,
I'm not
Eric's
paying.
driving.
Yeah. No, I am passenger princess
Yes.
through and through. We
Yeah.
go on a vacation. I'm like, I've planned the kids. I've planned all the stuff. I've booked the stuff. You've figured out
packed.
dog sitters. And I'm like, the second I show up, I don't know what time the flight's leaving. I don't have my passport.
Mhm.
I don't know what gate we're at, and I don't want to know. And like, I'm not carrying my bags.
No, Eric will happily do it
Yeah.
with a smile.
Yeah. He's my little golden retriever.
He's the best.
Yeah.
So what we did with Hattie to prepare for this, because I feel like when you have teenagers, you kind of got to fly them around with a parachute for a while.
Yeah.
You know? So like I said, we do River Rat Week every week. And she's driven, since she got her car 2 years ago, she has driven that. We've caravanned. So she's brought her car. So
Okay,
she's
smart.
driven that drive twice. And actually, if you have a kid getting ready to drive, the best thing to do is to have them be in their own car on a road trip. So take 2 cars.
Yeah.
Because really, it's just hours behind the wheel.
Right. And it's like pretty much like open roads.
Yeah. It gets a little hairy around Coeur d'Alene. There's a lot of like twisty turnies
Okay.
but she's done great. And I think it made her a much more confident driver. I've driven with her. She's a great driver.
I mean, I can't say the same about myself.
See, you don't even drive to St. George.
Yeah, I don't even drive. I mean, there's a reason I just got that
Syracuse.
Fendi Bendy
That's it.
last week. So
Yeah. Kit got in a car accident, which we can't really talk about because seems like not on
seems
your
like
side.
they're trying to screw me.
But on the other side, there might be some insurance fraud claims happening.
Yeah. Well, time will tell about that.
Yeah, time will tell.
Shocking.
Insurance companies, they're not gonna stand. No,
No.
they're not gonna.
I'm
stand
like,
for
good
this.
luck. I had 2 witnesses.
Yeah. Also, good luck.
Yeah. Good. Godspeed.
Godspeed. My friend gave me the best advice the other day because I've been weepy. I've told you,
yeah.
I'm devastated. I'm sad. It feels too soon. I'm not ready. And she's like, listen, when my kids were getting to be Hattie's age, I noticed there were 2 types of moms.
Mhm.
There were these types of moms who were like, this is our last Christmas. This is our last family vacation. This is our last. And they put this like emotional pressure, not only on the kid that was leaving to come,
Yeah.
but on themselves and the family. And no one could live up to it.
Yeah.
And so everyone was always disappointed. And then she goes, the truth of the matter is there's going to be more Christmases.
100%.
There's going to be more family vacations. It's just going to look a little different. And if you can just enjoy them
Yeah.
and just be so delighted by them every time you see them, you're going to have a better experience and she's going to want to come around a lot more.
That's incredible advice because I think also when you put so much pressure on it, like, oh, this is our last one, like it's also her last like at home before she makes this huge change. Cause I think in college, like at least your first year, like you're really finding yourself. And by making it be like, this is ours, like I'm sure that there's things that she wants to do, like with friends and live it up before she goes.
Yeah. And as a senior in high school, I can remember thinking my friends were so important.
Oh, yeah.
And now I'm still friends with some of those people. Like my family's, of course, more important.
Yes.
And so I think if you don't make it this whole emotional thing, they kind of just naturally get there themselves.
Yeah, I love that. I like watched a video the other day too, and it said, you've made it as a parent when your adult children want to hang out with you. Like not just like
Great.
Obligated
Now I
to.
have another thing to live up to.
No. Don't put that pressure on yourself. But I was like, I actually sent it to my dad because we have this joke in our family where, so me and my brother, we live like the closest to my parents and we call me, my parents, and my brother the A team. And then there's like the B team of the family, but they're not really the B team. It's just a joke because we're always like, oh, we're your favorites. And like we choose to go out to dinner with my parents on weekends and like choose to do that over friends sometimes. And it's like, that's nice. Like, that
Mhm.
would be my ultimate goal as a parent would be like, I just want my kids to want to hang out with me, not just be forced because it's a holiday.
Yeah, and I think you need to celebrate your kids in that growth because they
Mhm.
need to kind of expand beyond the nest to
Yeah.
realize, oh, actually, this is kind of a great place to be.
Mhm.
And they need to clip their wings a little bit and get there. So it is a transition time. I still have a 15-year-old at home that I can put all my hopes and dreams into.
He's so cute.
He's the best. So we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. This week I'm also potty training.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Yeah. So I've got my almost 2-year-old. She turns 2 on the 21st. Her name is Nora. We call her No-Nos. And I really didn't want to like potty train this early. I mean, Liv was easy. She potty trained herself in 2 days. Like she just was ready. Nora, I was like, oh, I don't want to. I wouldn't care if she was like 3.5 and not potty trained. But she keeps taking off her diaper, which I'm like, that's annoying and I'm not gonna do that.
Mhm.
So yeah, we started on Monday. She's been doing really good, but she's just a little spitfire and just so feisty.
Your kid? Wild.
I know. I think she gets it from Eric. Definitely not from me. Eric's always like, she's your child. I've got 2 feisties.
Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah, I mean, it keeps things interesting. I'm a little scared of them. It's only a matter of time. Right now they like fight and like don't want to hang out, but like they were playing a game together and I saw a glimpse where I'm like, they're gonna band together against us actually.
Oh yeah.
But she just like yells at me that she like doesn't want to go on the potty. Yeah.
So she's not quite. She doesn't think she's ready, but she's definitely ready.
Well, so the first day that we tried it, so we just started on Monday. She had 1 accident the whole day. She had already been like going number 2 on the potty because she also has like some digestive problems and is like always constipated and like that's rough. So she'll like just like scream and cry and all that. So on Monday, the only reason she had an accident was because I left the house and took her and Liv to therapy. Liv goes to just like a play therapy, and I had to bring Nora with me. And so she didn't want to go in like the public restroom, which I don't blame her. It's like scary.
And disgusting.
Yeah. And like the toilets flush automatically. And then she had an accident in the waiting room. And I was like, oh, no big deal. I brought extra pairs of clothes. But then she didn't have a single accident like the rest of the day. She had a nap and didn't have an accident during the nap. And then it's like slowly gotten a little bit worse. So then like the next day she had like 2 accidents. And then today it was like when we were at my sister's house, she actually she had peed through both of her pairs of underwear that I brought her. And then I was like, oh, you'll just go commando in like your pants. Peed through those. And then we look over and she's covering her ears and like walking and peeing. And I'm like, yeah, she just and was like so sad about it. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll like
Try again
yeah,
later.
maybe we try again later. Maybe we keep going. I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to push her because I don't want to make her hate it. Yeah. So I'm like, potty training's so interesting.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like a hump you're getting over or
Yeah.
not. I can't remember. It's been too long for me.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, Liv, I feel like I haven't potty trained another kid because Liv was just so easy. Like
Yeah.
literally had no accidents until a little bit later when she just like got busy and didn't want to go. But she was so good.
Relatable.
Yeah, I mean, same.
It's such a waste of time.
It is. It actually bugs me. Like I tell my husband all the time when we're laying in bed, I'm like, I wish you could just like go pee for me.
Yeah.
Because it is so wildly
Pee by
inconvenient.
proxy.
Yes. Pee by proxy. Like, where's that at? It's 2024. Let's get it
Come
together.
on, AI.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Pee by proxy.
That's so funny.
Oh, it's been so long. I love doing this podcast. I love the play day. I love talking to moms. But sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, when you leave the house, like going through
Yeah.
the potty training things.
Yeah.
Because it's just wild.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not bad when you're at home,
No.
but I can't stay home all day.
No,
every day.
you kind of just have to plan for 3 days at home, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm like, I think it's my fault for like leaving the house, but we'll give it a go.
You know what? And maybe it's not the right time. Maybe
Yeah.
she's like ready to not take her diaper off.
Yes. Yeah. Let's hope that. I'm like, I do not want to deal with the messes because she'll take it off for number 1 and number 2.
Okay, Nora. Get your crap together.
Quite literally.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. And she just like shouts all the time. She calls herself no-nos too. She does like these affirmations too. And she'll just like randomly say them. So she goes, I no-nos. And I'm like, yeah, you are no-nos. But every day, like randomly, she'll just say her affirmations, which are, she'll say, I'm cute. I nice. I happy. I loved. I silly. I helpful. She's not that helpful, but
You know what? Every little bit
it's like
helps.
manifestation.
Yes,
Like she's gonna be helpful one day.
You become what you say you are.
Exactly. So
Her
I'm
words are
like,
powerful.
you're gonna be helpful, Nora.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Your kids are so cute.
You're so nice. They're very fun.
Okay, well, this is like a fun week.
Yeah.
Oh, so as you know,
Yeah.
Kit is my assistant in real life. Well, this is real life too, but outside of the Playdate podcasting hosting duties. And it has been a very stressful time for me
Yeah.
at work. And last week on Thursday, signed some docs, got through the hump, feeling really good. And I realized this weekend I had a ton of energy. And prior to that, I didn't have any energy. And so something that we talk about love languages all the
I
time.
love language.
I do too. And it's really nice to be able to like articulate what it is you need.
Mm-hmm.
And then to have a partner that can go, yes, I can meet that need, or no, I can't meet that need. And then you can kind of figure stuff out.
Yeah.
And I love a love language. So I started researching stress languages, which I didn't even really, I just like kind of popped in my head. And there's actually 5 stress languages.
Really?
Yes. And I'll tell them to you. And they're more reactions than
Okay.
languages.
Yeah.
But it's fighting, imploding, fixing, denying, and numbing.
Okay.
And what I realized is like many years ago when I was like at my most unhealthy, I
Yeah.
would say, and my most not even surviving, but like holding my hand
Yes.
above the water, you know?
Yep.
And then coming up for air and my little nose would get a few bunches of air and then I'd go back under. At my most unhealthy, the languages would manifest. And this was like 7 years ago when I started noticing this. And I've gone to a lot of therapy and I've done a lot of things. But I think if you're going through some of these, and I'll give you some examples, it's so nice. I was able to have this really good conversation with my husband around the way that I manifest stress and how he can support me a little more. So what happens is at work or even in like a family stressful situation or in a trauma situation, my first instinct is fight and fix. Like, you know,
I know that.
You're the exact same way too. Like, okay, I'm going to research this. I'm going to get all the resources that I need. I'm going to call everyone who's been through this before. I'm going to figure out what the first 10 steps are. Then I'm going to go out and not fight people, but I'm going to fight the problem. And I'm going to put on my armor and every day. And I move quick. Like, something about me is I can move a whole organization within an afternoon.
Oh, I know you can. You can probably move more than an organization in an
and
afternoon.
I make decisions quick. And like the board is always like, the moss doesn't grow on Susan. Like if she's moving, we got to be moving too. And so I will go out and I will be at work and I will be in this like fight and fix mode.
Yeah.
And then come home and I think to kind of rebuild my stamina or to even just rest, which I think is such an important part. Okay, so then I was noticing that in order to recharge and rest after like being I had decision fatigue and I had like boss fatigue and being in charge fatigue and all those things. I would come home and I would totally just like numb and then just avoid or implode. Like I would just be in my room.
Yeah.
And people be like, hey, do you want to go out? And it's like, no.
Yeah. You're like, I
can't.
don't have the capacity for that.
I don't. And I have a great friend. He's so amazing, but he would be like, let's go to dinner. And it's like, I don't have capacity to go to dinner.
Yeah.
So he'd say, well, let me bring you dinner then. It's not, I don't have the capacity for you. It's just like, I need some recharge time.
Yeah. Cause that's how you recharge is like alone time.
Alone time.
Yeah.
But I would get annoyed and I would be like, no, that's not what I want. And now I realize I just needed to actually communicate with him better.
Yeah.
So, and then as an entrepreneur, I always have a healthy dose of denial. And I'm not going to give that one up.
You can't.
Because like, it's only stupid unless it works and then it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And so I will keep my denial, even if it's a little bit of an unhealthy, but I
Wait,
feel like
what did you tell me? Delulu is the new
a Delulu is a Salulu.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
I love that.
So I was talking to my husband last night and I'm like, okay, the stress is not over, but the solution is known.
Yeah.
The parameters of the stressful situation are uncovered. I actually know which dragon I'm fighting now,
Yeah.
which before it felt like I didn't know who or what I was fighting.
Yeah.
So like the next like 4 months are pretty mission critical at Freshly Picked. I told him, I'm like, okay, well, now when I'm noticing like what I was doing is like this is so silly, but like I wasn't putting my clothes in the clothes hamper. I was putting
Yeah.
them next to the clothes hamper.
Mhm.
And I'm like, that's so stupid because I love putting my clothes in the clothes hamper. And
That like actually surprises me about you.
that I love putting them in the clothes hamper.
No, that I 100%
Right,
get.
right.
I'm like just setting it next to like
Right. But that was like 2 weeks of that because
Yeah.
it was just like I had to get that thing done
Yes.
before the end of March and we got it done, but it was just stressful.
Yeah.
And like my bathroom counter was a mess and I'd clean it up and then I'd get a mess and I
Yeah.
just couldn't keep on top of simple tasks
Yeah.
like that.
Like the systems.
And it wasn't bothering me.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that was surprising me.
Yeah.
Because usually it becomes jumbled. But then I signed the docs on Thursday. On Friday, I cleaned out my whole closet. I like cleaned out all my drawers in my bathroom. And it was like, oh, actually, I think the problem here is that I have too much stuff and I'm not
Yeah.
able to manage it. And so but everything manifested itself at the same time because I was
Mhm.
so stressed I couldn't manage anything else.
Yeah. I've like felt
That
like what you're explaining.
Right.
Yeah.
So I told Chris, I was like, well, next time I'm starting to see things pile up, I think you and I need to have a conversation and we could actually like tease out what I'm stressed about.
Yeah.
Because that is one of the markers for me. And what's happening is I'm fighting so hard something else. I can't also fight this battle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's always good too to have somebody, especially like Chris, that can like check in with you too when they start noticing that. Like, because you're a person that loves like systems and resets and like
And
organization.
clean, crisp,
Yes. Yeah.
vacuumed,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
laundry done.
that gets me going. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just like when he notices that or something like,
Yeah. And just to be able to, articulating what is happening and being able to kind of put words to what you're experiencing
Mhm.
becomes, I think, sometimes your most powerful tool.
oh yeah.
And it's why we started this podcast, honestly. And I think it made me think about this podcast, how I wanted to talk about it, because when you come home and you're in postpartum, can you think of a more stressful time, especially that first time?
No.
And I feel like as a mom, you're going through all of these different levels of stress. Like
Yeah.
you're manifesting all these different stress languages. And so if I had to do it over again, and I'm saying this now as like someone who's sending my baby off to college,
Yeah.
is that I would try to draw parallels between a behavior that I know is not like isn't my normal behavior.
Yeah.
And one of the stress languages, like, am I fighting something?
So
And then
smart.
this is like the other side of that. Am I delusional? Am I imploding? Am I denying? Like whatever
Yeah.
it is, and then be able to have conversations because like now when my friend is like, hey, let's go to dinner, I can be like, listen, I have this really big thing going on at
Mhm.
work and I'm putting all my energy into that. And I really just need to be home alone. Like my
Yeah.
family's not even seeing me. I love that you're reaching out. It means so much to me, but I can't do it right now.
Totally. And like sometimes that can be hard to say, but it's like once you figure that out, it feels so good too.
Yeah.
And then the person like knows how to show up for you in other ways too.
Right. Right. And even just telling someone, hey, I need some space right now. So
Mhm.
powerful.
Yeah.
So amazing. Yeah.
I love that.
So yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I'm going to look into what my stress I'm sure you already know what mine are.
I think we're very similar.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Because I've seen you fight.
Yep.
I've also seen you kind of go dark for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we all speak different languages depending on what the reaction is.
Yeah.
Trauma elicits a different reaction than
Absolutely.
family stress or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
Bye.